Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org, author of I the Dragon, Cruel and Beautiful, Rabbit Hole, King Dia, Lauren Frey, Grimm, Clover, Internet Blood Sports, and the upcoming Jaw of the Dragon. So, recently, a lot of fans have been eagerly, eagerly following the exploits of former Sonic Team head developer Yuji Naka, the man credited for developing Sonic the Hedgehog. Now, I say credited very loosely because apparently, like, Sonic Team was comprised of a bunch of different people that remained anonymous in order to avoid them being poached by other companies. And so Yuji Naka kind of took the credit for it, and over the past several years has not only run Sonic Team into the ground, he's made an absolute fool of himself to the point where it feels like everyone in the industry hates him. And this all came to a head last year with the release of Balan Wonderworld, um, the 2021 Mario winner for like biggest career-ending blunder. Balan was such a disaster that I honestly would put it up there as one of the worst platformers ever made. Now, I didn't actually play it. I didn't actually waste my time on that shit, but just seeing like the bizarre decisions they made with like the direction and the level design and like mapping everything to a single button, like this is the kind of mistakes that like an amateur wouldn't make yet, right? But Yuji Naka somehow like really thought this was going to be his next big thing. This was his next big career career making move. And so like he released a shitty book, which I did read, which does suck. He released this game to the unsuspecting public, and the group of people who eagerly eat up everything Sonic Team has ever produced, including like Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg, shit like Rodea, the Sky Soldier, and shit like this. Like even those people, right, who buy everything that Sonic Team shot out in their entire history has never. Even those people were shitting all over Balan Wonderworld. It was a complete disaster, a complete fuck up, and now that Yuji Naka's out of Square Enix. He's gone from Sega. He's kind of doing his own thing. It seems like he's kind of settled into his new life of not working on games and just kind of shit posting on Twitter about like how all these rumors and stories about what he was like at Sega are all just from jealous co-workers and colleagues and stuff like that, and how he didn't do nothing wrong. But like these stories of him being an asshole are so consistent and are so like and and are coming from so many different people from like who worked on a wide range of different projects at Sega and I believe even Square Enix at this point regarding his behavior, his attitude, his tendency to kind of like fuck people over. Like people, it feels a lot like the Unifune thing. It feels like this decade's Unifune, in which someone who touted themselves as like the single sole creator of a beloved IP just strikes out on his own and is suddenly exposed as being a complete hack fraud, right? Because going back, someone who didn't grow up with Sonic, who like hates all the Sonic games, who went back and played them all recently and hates all of them, literally all of them, like the original Genesis games, the adventure games, the subsequent ones, the Wii era ones, everything. Like I think the best Sonic game ever made is probably Sonic Lost World on Wii U. There's just no competition. Like the games just aren't that very good. Just are not that good. As someone who hates Sonic, this doesn't surprise me at all, right? Like seeing this fucker finally be exposed for the hack fraud that he is. Someone who was like pushed to the forefront of the industry to kind of be like the anti Miyamoto, the cool edgy alternative to like Nintendo's stale derivative projects. Like that guy. It is so wonderful to see that this guy finally gets his comeuppance, right? It is good to finally see him get exposed, and I am personally rather very happy that he's never going to work on a project again, that he's done, that he's never going to resurface. And this kind of goes back to what I've been saying the past couple of years. The list of former Japanese gaming celebrities keeps getting longer, right? We had Inafune, Mega Man, gone. Kojima, Metal Gear, gone. Sakaguchi, gone, right? Yuji Naka, gone. Like, who's next, right? Like, Nagoshi, gone. Like, Yakuza Nagoshi, gone. Like, who exactly is left? Like, all all the people who seem to have any real talent, the people that people actually care for, that are actually emotionally invested in, like the Splatoon guys, the Xenoblade guys, like everyone is at Nintendo. Like literally everyone. I'm sure it's only a matter of time until like develop every every single noteworthy piece of talent in Japan just goes straight to Nintendo as their first choice. Right now, like people feel it feels like people are trying to stave off the inevitable of Nintendo like dominating the console industry by trying to go to the Chinese and beg them for money and try to keep themselves relevant. But that's not going to work. Nobody likes Chinese products. Like nobody buys them. People here only buy them when like they're absolutely forced to, or like people are tricked into doing it, right? Nagoshi's upcoming projects are going to fail. Like Suda 51, I highly suspect No More Heroes 3 will be his last game, honestly. Like all these people being acquired by the Chinese, trying to avoid being like swallowed up by the unstoppable Nintendo giant. People like Platinum Games that are trying to go mobile. Saddle everything with microtransactions, like companies like EA, like Ubisoft, like all of them. They're all going to fucking die. All of them. They're done. It's over. They don't have a fraction of the relevancy they did 10 years ago or even 5 years ago. Like ever since the Switch was unveiled, it's been a slow, steady decline. And it does feel like we're in the middle of a gaming crash. Actually, like a pure economic crash, which I'm sure is like just, an issue of society at large. But when it comes like from a pure gaming standpoint, it feels like good products that people actually want to be invested in and want to support are getting fewer and farther between. Right? There are a handful of industry giants that are still pumping out good things, but when it comes to the vast majority of creators out there, there isn't shit to look forward to. I can't imagine being a PlayStation, Xbox, or a PC fan in like 2022. It makes no sense. It's it's downright pathetic, honestly, looking at their lack of library and just lack of relevancy. Like it's gotten to the point that like in order to stay relevant, these guys have to brag about PC gamers have to brag about like PS4 ports and emulating Nintendo Switch games, which isn't actually true, but which they can't actually do. But it's like I I'm glad to see Yuji Naka go. Right? I'm glad to see Balan Wonderworld fail because it goes to show you can't. This has been something I've been saying for a while. You can't bamboozle people with pretty cutscenes or graphics anymore. Like that was the thing back in the 90s with Sonic, that was the thing back in the 2000s with the Dreamcast with Sonic Adventure, and that was the thing in like the new tens with Yakuza 0 and stuff like that. Like all they did for all that time was just have interesting cinematics that they would put into trailers, get you hyped up to play their game, and then put out like a mediocre bare bones experience that you would never think about or play again, unless like it was to get excited for like the next game. Like that's Sega. That's the third party development mindset to begin with, was just bamboozle you with graphics and or story, right? And both of those things are starting to implode. It's both of those things are starting to become toxic. Even like indie games are becoming more popular. People are becoming like more sophisticated. YouTubers are becoming more cultured. Like gamers are actively rejecting games they don't want to play. And I think companies like EA, like Activision, like Sega will not be able to compete in the future. And because of that, frauds like Yuji Naka will fade away, never to be heard from again.